A Fargo woman was the picture of health until she wasn't. Cheryl Keller Johnson didn't necessarily recognize the signs of heart disease, but luckily her husband did. Cheryl is sharing her story in hopes of saving even more lives. Welcome, Cheryl.
Thank you.
So, Cheryl, in our conversations, you shared that you were doing all the right things. You were eating healthy, working out. In fact, you'd even lost a good amount of weight. What symptoms did you have, and what did you think was going on when this occurred?
So it kind of started last June. I was carrying some stuff out to the car, and I felt some pressure on my chest, lightheadedness, dizziness. I sat down, it went away, and didn't think anything of it, just attributed it to that I had overexerted myself. Went golfing that night. Next day, in the evening, I had gone for a walk. The chest pressure, I'd been walking about 30 minutes and I felt chest pressure again, similar to the day before. Again, lightheadedness, dizziness. And I also felt kind of numbness, or my arms felt heavy. So I called my husband. I had my phone with, just because I thought if I passed out, I wanted him to know where I was. So he came and picked me up, got home, and he tried to talk me into going to the emergency room, and I thought, no, I can go the next day. Everything was feeling fine again, but he has family history of heart disease, so he recognized the signs. So we went to the emergency room, and they did a bunch of tests, told me that I did not have a heart attack. But they didn't know what was wrong. So they referred me on to my primary care physician. She ordered a stress test. That came back as they couldn't say everything was fine, but they couldn't say everything wasn't fine. Referred me on to a cardiologist. He ordered a CT scan, and it was through the CT scan that they saw severe blockage to the main artery to my heart, also known as the widowmaker. And so he recommended an angiogram. I couldn't believe that I had severe blockage. I had normal blood pressure, my cholesterol had been in the standard range, etc. So I decided to get a second opinion from another clinic, but that cardiologist looked at my results and also decided that I should get an angiogram. So had the procedure the next day, which now this was mid-September. They injected the dye in, and which would then show the heart arteries and the blockage. I wasn't nervous for the procedure in my mind. I was healthy, and I thought they were going to tell me everything's fine. Instead, they injected the dye, and he told me right away that I had 90% blockage, and that he was going to be putting a coronary stent in. So he did that, and I was released a few hours later after the procedure.
Oh my gosh. And I know that happened very quickly. So what was your family's reaction to all of this?
Surprised, just as I was. Like I said, I didn't exhibit any of the typical risk factors, didn't have high blood pressure, wasn't overweight. I had changed my eating habits about 1.5 years ago, had lost some weight. I don't smoke. So yeah, they were very surprised.
Yeah, very much so. I was too when I heard this story. So how has your recovery been?
Good. I really didn't have to change much for what I was doing because, like I said, I didn't have any of those typical risk factors. I've been doing great.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what do you think now that all of this has happened, what do you wish you would have known before all of this?
Yeah, I think knowing that healthy individuals can develop coronary disease. I was convinced that there was no way that I had, heart issues or blockage. And so I think that's something that I learned through this, that you can have that even if you don't exhibit the the risk factors.
And what do you suggest, though, to our viewers and to your friends and family members? You know, what message do you have for them in regards to paying attention to their body and what to do?
Yeah, I think what I would want them to know is to know those risk factors. The high blood pressure, the high cholesterol, if you're overweight, if you smoke, if you're not exercising, or if you have family history. But then also know too that even if you don't have any of those, which I didn't, then know what those symptoms of a heart attack can be, which is that chest discomfort. You can have discomfort in your arms, your back, your neck, your jaw, stomach, the shortness of breath. Don't chalk it up to just being out of shape. And then also the lightheadedness, dizziness, nausea, sweating. And then I think to know too that women can present differently. Don't try to explain it away like I tried to with my husband. It's better to get it checked out than to suffer a heart attack. I feel everything happens for a reason, and there was a reason why I'm still on this earth, and I feel very lucky and blessed to have caught this before I had a heart attack.
Yeah, absolutely. Cheryl, thank you so very much for sharing your story. I know that it's been a long and difficult road, but hey, good things happen in the end, so good for you. Congrats. Thank you so much for being on with us.
Thank you.
Have a good day. All right, coming up on today's show, we have our eye on entertainment.